The Bright Angel Trail, dropping into the Grand Canyon from the south rim, was initially only a route that no mule or horse could descend. It descended a geological fault line and was used by the Havasupai and Ancestral Puebloans for centuries to reach Indian Garden, now Havasupai Gardens, located halfway down, approximately 3,000 feet below. Ralph Cameron of Flagstaff, Arizona started work on the trail down to mining claims in 1890. By the end of 1891, after spending $500 and 2 months of labor, a very rough trail existed that descended to Havasupai Gardens. Cameron later explained,
"At that time, my only purpose in building the trail was to use it in pursuing mining operations. I staked it with a common day laborer and made it, blasting hundreds of thousands of tons of rock where the mountain was a sheer descent. We worked in the winter and drank melted snow because there was no water at the edge of the canyon in the summer."
Water had to be hauled from 18 miles away. Workers had to sleep at times on the steep cliffs using a tarp as a blanket because there was no room for a tent, and they would wake up in the morning covered with a foot of snow. The work was so hard and conditions so poor that it was difficult to keep men employed. It was also explained,
Mr. Cameron widened the trail in many places, fastened trunks of trees along the edges of dangerous places, cut away the side walls at some spots, hewed down some trees that obstructed it, and made the trail easily passable for horses.
The new trail was originally called the Cameron Trail, but by 1892, it was also being called Bright Angel Trail. In 1894, Leroy Mosher of the Los Angeles Times took a group to the Grand Canyon and ventured down on foot on the rough trail still being constructed. He said,
"It is one thing to totter and slide down the sinuous trail into the Grand Canyon, but the creeping and crawling up to the rim with weary limbs, aching muscles, and spent breath is quite another, with heart thumpings that hammer as though the great central pumping station of the system was about to blow out a cylinder head or slip a cog."
From the south rim, the original trail started at the Kolb Studio and descended on steep switchbacks through a nearby break in the cliffs. It lacked the sweeping long switchbacks that now exist. The original trail below Havasupai Gardens did not follow Garden Creek as it does today. Instead, it went east on the Tonto Trail to the next drainage, called Salt Creek, where today old telephone poles descend. This is where the old Devil's Corkscrew began down a steep ravine. Early tourists had to dismount and walk their saddle animals down these harrowing sets of switchbacks which reached Pipe Creek and then on to the Colorado River. L.M. Brown said,
"A notable part of this trail is called the Devil's Corkscrew, and it is sufficiently steep, zigzag, and devilish to merit the title." After reaching the bottom of this rapid descent, a sigh of thankfulness was heard from one of the male members of the party, heartily seconded by a feminine "Amen."
An early 1896 climb back up on Bright Angel Trail was described by Fred Benzinger.
"The climb out of the canyon is a trying ordeal at best. On foot, it is appalling. For a mile an hour is a fair average speed, and unknown muscles are soon stretched to the snapping point."
By 1901, tourists could travel down the rough Bright Angel Trail to the Colorado River in one day either on foot or by mule. Today, at least 100,000 people hike the entire Bright Angel Trail each year, with estimates suggesting 500,000 more hike portions of it.
This video was written and produced by Davy Crockett for the Grand Canyon Historical Society. Visit us at grandcanyonhistory.org. Help us continue to preserve and share the history of Grand Canyon by becoming a member of the Society. Also, use the subscribe button below to receive more videos like this one.